I have something very, very special for you guys today, and I'm excited to share it with you. Whether you are a student of mine, whether you're someone who's gotten replay reviews, or you're just a longtime viewer, a lot of you guys have the same question. You have matches where you have no clue what went wrong, you have no clue what you could have done better, you have no clue how you could have even won. You're at a total loss. If that is a feeling you have ever had, don't worry, this video will solve that right now. As always, if you want your replay review done, make sure you check the highlighted pinned comment below. These replay reviews are free, however, members do have priority. So if you're a member of the channel, you're helping to support the channel, you're gonna have priority over everyone else, but they are free, so check it out. And if you want more hands-on coaching, there's a link in the description below to my coaching. I have different types of coachings, whether you are on the go or you have time, there's something for everybody, so I highly recommend checking it out. This player that we're about to watch is one of my students. When they first came to me, they were like, dude, I really wanna reach top 500, you know, I feel like I could do it. And I told them, looking at their gameplay, helping them through it, I was like, you got this. So they ended up in that spot. We're in a top 500 lobby right now, but they feel pretty lost. They don't know what happened this match, and I'm gonna teach them how to figure it out. Now, usually when I do reviews, I do fast forward because I can kind of spot things as I'm going forward and I can explain things better. But because I'm teaching you this concept, I want you to understand we're actually gonna watch it at regular pace. So what are we even looking for? Like popping, I don't even know, like what's happening? Well, there's two things that you want to pay attention to when you are looking at your reviews. Let me go ahead and write them here for you. So the first question, or the first thing you're pretty much looking for, is what was the problem? Question number 2 is going to be, could I have made an impact? Now you might be thinking, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Well, what we're referring to are team fights. Team fights are the main thing that happens in the game. That's all Marvel Rivals really is just a series of team fights. When you win the most team fights, you probably end up winning the match. If you lose the most, you're probably gonna lose the match, right? A lot of people focus on too much. They focus on this right here. This is what most players focus on. Boom, stats. They think, well, I had all the KOs, I had last hits, you had no last hits, I had healing, I had defense, blah, 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 blah. I had all these numbers. They don't matter. What matters is your impact during a fight, and a lot of players do not understand this. This is why they end up stuck. This is why they have no clue what's going on. You need to understand, what was my impact during the fight, and was it good? This is why these two questions are important. What was the problem? Why did we lose the fight? And could you have made an impact? Sometimes you can't, sometimes you can, but did you make an impact? So let's go ahead and watch this first team fight here, and let's see if we can notice anything that we could have done better. Remember, we just want to win the team fights, so let's roll. I'm gonna try not to talk as much because I know sometimes it confuses you guys. You guys let me know in comments below in another video, but I'm gonna just kind of give context to what's going on, but not talk too much about it. So we're doing our best to try to stay safe and heal. Pretty simple. We talked about this during our coaching session. Magic then shows up, and you have to find a way to position properly, right? You do so by going around here, meaning that she can't hit you. You're out of her sight, but it's also keeping you safe. Perfectly fine. You're near your healer. This is great. Again, we talked about this and you're applying it, and it's always good to see that you're doing that. All right. We wasted our snowball there. Remember, try to be more cautious about using our abilities. Okay, our Strange gets picked off. Thing hops onto us. We run towards our other healer because it's able to save us. We get ulted by Moon Knight and everybody gets KO'd. We have to ask ourselves, do we lose the fight? Yeah, we lost the fight. Now, Doctor Strange does end up portaling in and we win the subsequent fight and we're able to hold the point, but that's something that Doctor Strange did, right? If we asked Doctor Strange as a tank player, what was the problem? My team got picked off. Could I have made an impact? Yes, you portaled in. He did a good job. However, it's not about him. It's about you, right? It's about Luna Snow gameplay. Was this fight lost because of us? Like, what was actually the problem? So let's try to identify it. So going back just a little bit, what was realistically the problem before our old boy got taken out? We're gonna fast forward this part, like I said. So nothing seems to be the problem, right? Boom, Doctor Strange gets taken out. Did he get taken out because you didn't heal? Well, let's check. Let's check. Do you have Snowflake on Doctor Strange? You have Snowflake on Magic and you're fighting Magic. Meanwhile, your team is getting shoved in right now. So could we have done something to help keep our team, you know, afloat here? Yeah, we weren't paying attention. We got sidetracked. Snowflake is still on magic. Now you could be in comms, but that doesn't excuse what just happened, right? So we're still on comms. I'm not on comms, I'm sorry. We're the Snowflake's still on magic. Then we just get dove here and, you know, whatever. The situation's kind of over because when you get a pick in a top 500 lobby, like they're gonna roll you. So in this particular instance, what was the problem? Our tank got picked off early. Could you have made an impact? Yes, I could have been more aware of what was happening around me, and I could have made sure that my tank was safe before I started fighting the other magic over there, right? Your main priority is always going to be keeping everyone healthy first, and then whatever else comes after that, unless your life is in danger. In that case, you know, you got to do what you got to do. But in that scenario, was your life in danger? You were chilling. Magic was fighting magic. So you could still pay attention to what was happening. So again, answering these questions, what was the problem? Tank got picked off. Could you have made an impact? Yes, this wasn't something you couldn't have done. You could just paid more attention and been more aware of what was happening instead of paying attention to what was over there. All right, here we go with the second team fight. So moving on to this team fight, we ended up losing. We're gonna ask ourselves the same question. What was the problem and could we have made an impact? Some team fights you really can't do anything and you just lose. It happens. 5 other players are in the lobby. There's no way you can just have every single lost team fight attributed to you, but it doesn't mean we don't want to try to see if there's anything we could have done. So let's roll and let's see. Again, regular speed. So they're getting ready to push us in. Your tanks are really far. I would have pinged them back. I don't really know why they're so far. We turned on our thunderclap here. I don't know why I have a hard time understanding what it is. All right. Luna then ults. You decide to ult. A whole bunch of other ults then start to happen off the cuff. We dip back into safety. All right, then magic gets rolled. You're still trying to keep people healthy. You're doing a good job. You're still trying to keep them healthy. You're doing your best. You're doing your best. And then everybody gets rolled. Right? Was that your fault? Who knows? Let's go ahead and watch it back and we'll see and we'll take a better look at it. All right, so watching this fight back, we're gonna watch it at normal speed and see if there's anything we could have done. So here we go. We're using our clap. We have to ask ourselves, was that ability necessary? Did we need to use it at that particular moment? You know that a team fight's going to break out pretty soon, which means that there's no reason to expend your abilities before the team fight, right? It doesn't make much sense. When you're using your abilities and you're just kind of throwing them out willy-nilly, we talked a little bit about this during our coaching session. When you throw out your abilities willy-nilly, you have to understand, or you have to ask yourself, is the team fight gonna break out before my cooldowns are back up? The higher rank you are, the more they're gonna abuse you not having that cooldown. So, because you were down your clap, you had to initially ult because your team was getting kind of, you know, mobbed on. But realistically speaking, if you had your clap, you would not have had to ult here. Not yet. You would still be clapping, you'd still be clapping, you'd still be clapping. You probably would ult now, right? If you ult and walk through, this doesn't KO you. If you sit in it, it will, but you can ult and walk through. You would ult now, and we would probably win the fight from here. Aside from that, as soon as your ult got done, you decided to go this way. But this is danger, right? Hulk is here, Magic is here, Moon Knight is here. Flip the fight around. The fight is not some static situation. It's not like, well, we're over here, they're over there, we fight. I mean, sometimes it's like that, but you can use the entire map to play the fight. We could have just went this way. Not only is this a surprise for the enemy team, like, where's Luna? But you're really safe over here. The only person that can get you would be the Thing. I mean, I guess Mantis, but like, I'd be more worried about the Thing. If the Thing does fight you in this situation, you can just run away. And if he chases you, your team should be able to win the fight from here. So look, imagine if you ran this way instead of back. You'd be able to do your job just like this Mantis is doing. Now, would you have gotten KO'd? Maybe, maybe. sometimes you have to take risks and you have to do things differently. This is the only way you're gonna learn, right? And so maybe one scenario, going over here doesn't work. In another scenario, going over here does work. What if you went over here and you were able to snowball her? Now she can't apply heals. You're going back with your team, and now look at the positioning that we're in. We're in a way better position than we are up there right now in this particular moment. Right? Now from here, again, you're trying your best to keep them alive, but from here, not much you can do. Everybody, you know, it's just a team fight wipe here. This wouldn't be your fault. But when we ask ourselves the question, what was the problem? Well, our team just got wiped. Like literally, we all just got KO'd at the same time. Could you have made an impact? Yes, we could have saved our clap so we didn't have to ult so early. We ult later, right? We also could have positioned a little bit differently after the ultimate, possibly being able to stun the mantis or freeze the mantis and then have a better chance of winning that fight. Now, I'm more confident with the clap and the ult than I am with the positioning over here. Sometimes you have to, again, take risks and you have to see what works. If you never take risks, if you don't see what, if you don't figure out what works and what doesn't work, you're probably not going to be able to improve. I've done this before. I've had a weird, people in my stream can attest. I've done some weird positioning things on supports, but because I had to. Something like this is definitely beneficial if you pull it off. Now we're gonna take a look at the third fight. I don't want the video to be too long, so we're gonna skip a few of them, but now we're on offense. So we're taking a look at fight number 3 on offense, okay? So we're gonna watch it normal speed, then go back, see if there's anything we could have done to make the fight better. But let's go. So we're pushing through. Your Thor's doing Thor things per usual. You're in a pretty decent safe spot. You can probably be a little bit further back if you need to. You decide to pop your clap on, which is good. Doing a great job. The snowflake is on. Is that Thor? No, that's the Punisher. Yeah, I would try to put it back on the Thor when you can. That must be your duo or something, because you are flaking the crap out of that guy. Magic's doing magic things. We have Loki ulting. You guys are pushing forward. Unfortunately, your Loki gets taken out. Your team just gets KO'd here, and that's that. Do we have to ask our, if we ask ourselves what was the problem? Our team got wiped because our Luna got KO'd. Could we have made an impact? Do you really think we could have done anything? No. This is a situation where your team just kind of fumbled and that's that, right? This is important for you to understand. No matter what rank you are, no matter what player you are, no matter what role, no matter what hero, there are some fights you realistically cannot do anything about. However, you need to remain humble. You can't say, oh, my team always sucks, so there's nothing I can do. No. That's far from the truth. Every single game, you have a way to impact the match. Whether you do it or not is is on you. But not every single fight is ruined because of your team. Win or lose. And this is something you have to, again, be humble about. You can't blame it all the time, but you also can't just beat yourself up over something you can't control. This wasn't a you problem. They just got KO'd in middle, and that's that. All right, here we go. Let's start the next fight. Your team's pushing the payload here. Your Punisher gets picked off, but Storm gets a pick. Huge. Hulk's now hopping to you. You have to turn around. You land the stun. You guys are just kind of playing it out, getting a little poke in. Magic gets a little bit of damage. She used her abilities, but she is up there. You have to be a little bit careful. You decide to move away. Smart choice. Loki decides to put the clone down. You get KO'd. Boom, bam, shamalam. Your team then loses the fight. Could we, gotta ask the problem, or gotta ask ourselves what was the problem? Well, our team, again, just got KO'd. Could we have done anything about it? Let's go back and see. So starting off from the same point. Could we have done anything? Well, if you take a look, as soon as you guys started getting pushed, your initial reaction was to go right. However, it's similar to that Mantis fight we were talking about. You could just go left. You can heal your team from here. As this happens, you're here and you can still heal. Now you're gonna be like, well, Poppin, what happens when they chase me? That's a good thing because it breaks up this entire team fight because they're focused on you. And the cool part about Luna is she's like one of the fastest characters in the game. That's something that you want to abuse a lot. So if you can put yourself in precarious situations, but you can also make it so you can dip yourself out, nobody can catch you. There's no way Hulk can jump through this because it's too small. He has to come in here and then jump to try to get you. Then he has to kind of like do it again, which is weird. Magic can only dash in a straight line. So if you are standing here healing, right, and she tries to hit you, well, what's she gonna do? She's gonna walk up, drop down, try to get you. Well, if you are, skating and you go this way, she can't curve this. There's such an awkward angle for her to land the dash that it's not gonna happen. And you get away for free. You probably get some heals if they're standing here, like right there or right here, but you're just looking to regroup back with your team. It's like that. Would this have saved the team fight? Who knows? But would it have made an impact? Yes, it definitely would have. Let's see what actually happened. Like what KO'd what? So if Hulk was looking at you, Hulk would never be back here. He would be burning his ultimate trying to chase you, right? From this point, Hulk again would never be here. Does your team still get wiped? I would say that they would, but you could have tried to make an impact by doing something a little bit different. It would have definitely made the fight better for your team. Again, I don't know if you would have won it, but it would have made your fight better for the team. And that's what we're looking at. That's what we're trying to figure out. How can we impact more? Even if we lose the fight, we're still making more of an impact than we did when we look at that replay, right? Again, would you have won this one? I don't know. It's a little bit scary because Cloak and Dagger did ult and we didn't have one to counter it. So it could have just been a lost team fight from the start. However, we could have done something different. And because we do that different thing, we learned that we could have maybe done something different, we can apply that to another map. We can apply that to another fight. These are things we could take on with us, right? So even though this team fight happened in this one game, you can still take your learning experiences with you to the next one, This is how we evolve as a player. Overall, because this is kind of like a replay review, what I would work on personally would, again, just be your ability usage and just where you're positioning. These are things that we did talk about during our coaching session, and it's gotten better. It's gotten better for sure. But again, still be more creative about where you're positioning and why, and make sure we're not using our abilities beforehand. We could definitely impact these team fights more. And when you look at what you could do, and if you do feel helpless, really just start at the team fights. During the team fights, was there something else I could have done? You will be able to figure out right then and there, yes or no. And as you guys know, as my students, if you guys do truly still feel stuck, you guys can send me your replays and I will look at it. It takes about 5 minutes. I tell you guys this all the time. If you're a student of mine, and I can answer your questions just like that. So, but again, huge congratulations, huge round of applause. This person reached their goal. They were able to play in the top 500 lobby, which is what they were trying to do when we first met. So congratulations. That's a huge step up. Congratulations for real. Again, if you guys want free replay reviews for yourself, want any questions or anything answered, check the highlighted pinned comment below. And if you want your own personal one-on-one coaching session, whether you don't have a lot of time, I have options for that. Or if you do have a lot of time, I have options for that. I have options for everyone. Check out that link in the description below about my coaching. I'm telling you, there's options for everyone. And if you're really looking to improve, that's the best way to go. Thank you guys for watching. And until next time, you know what I always say. If you guys are doing what? Happen often. Will often.